So I'm at Hartington Hall YHA with a friend Paul. We've come down to do 3 or 4 days cycling on some of the disused railway lines. The place is stunning, absolutely beautiful. The accommodation is wonderful. Behind me you can see there is the old coach house, which is our accommodation. The hostel is just wonderful. It's set in gorgeous grounds. We're just about to eat in the restaurant. YHA food is moderate, but we've walked down into the village and the pub's not serving food tonight. It's a very, very nice place. So we're going to do 4 rides over the next 4 days before we go home on Saturday. So hopefully I get to make some more videos, and it looks like the weather is going to be very kind to us. So yeah, come along for the ride. Morning. Wednesday morning, we're sitting outside the hostel having a cup of tea. We're going to go in and have our breakfast about 8:30. All the kids are in there at the minute having their breakfast. There are 2 schools staying, so the time's a bit limited for what we can do, but it's fine, we don't mind. 8:30 is plenty early enough for breakfast. What you'll learn as you start to watch these videos is I am not a morning person. It's about 8:10 and I'm outside drinking a cup of tea, and it's a real struggle for me. My alarm went off at 7:30, and I'm not a morning person. I don't get up this early for work. I'm just not used to it. So you'll see as I go along, I moan a lot about getting up early in the morning. However, I mean, look at this place behind me. It's stunning. There's not much to moan about this morning. The sun's out, weather's nice. We're off to Tissington Trail this morning to Ashbourne, so we're going to cycle to Ashbourne and back and see what it's like. We're still on the road to the Tissington Trail. It isn't far, but it's uphill, and I mean proper uphill. First thing in the morning, straight out of the youth hostel. It's brutal. But it is what it is. Once we get to the trail, I'm kind of hoping it will be quite flat. I think it's just up here on the right, so that's good because we've climbed all the way up to it so far. This is an old railway bridge in front, and we turn right after the bridge, and I think we're on the trail. So let's see. So we've stopped at the bike hire place in Ashbourne. This isn't a hired bike, this is Paul's fancy new mountain bike. Look at this. Spotlessly clean. Mine's not clean. Paul's is spotlessly clean because every time he rides it, he cleans it, which I don't have the will to do. But it's very nice, look.
It's like a horse, you groom it down after each ride.
Yeah, there you go, you see. I can give you the technical specification of Paul's bike. It's got a wheel at each end, and it's got some handlebars, and it's got some brakes, and it's got pedals, look. So that's my technical specification knowledge.
That's good enough.
It is good enough. This is mine. It's not nearly as clean as Paul's, but it doesn't seem to matter. Technical spec is the same, look. It's got 2 wheels, brakes, gears, stuff, bags, so you know, they do the job. Right, headed through the Ashbourne Tunnel. Here we go. This is part of the Pennine Cycleway from Derby to Berwick, Route 68, which is definitely going on our list. Definitely. It's very well lit. Apparently they have audio sometimes. I don't know what of, whether it's trains or ghosts or who knows, but it's fab. A bit chilly, but fab. Gotta love a good railway tunnel. A bit of train audio there, don't know if you heard it. Wasn't me. We've got to come back this way, by the way. We're rolling downhill at the minute all the way to Ashbourne. We've got to roll all the way back up, I don't think. So there you go, that was the Ashbourne tunnel. I think we're probably almost in town, almost ready for lunch. Horse disappeared off into the distance, as he often does. That's fine, don't mind. Here he is, his name's a friend. A lot of useful information boards all over this trail, so plenty of information and no chance of getting lost. So we've just got to Ashbourne. This is the map when you get here. Welcome to Ashbourne. And they've got this really pretty map that makes it look like this really pretty scenic medieval town. It's, you know, listed, it's got 200 listed buildings, it's, you know, it looks lovely. However, what they don't tell you on the map, and there aren't any little pictures of, there are lorries just thundering through one after the other. There's no bypass, there's no anything, so there are just great big Arctics thundering through. So we ended up getting a sandwich to take away, and we're going to go back onto the trail and eat it there. It's a shame because it's a nice town, but way too noisy and way too horrible to sit and eat. Shame. So we're at Tissington station, and Paul is pulled. Look, he's pulled these two. They keep biting his hand off. Think about biting the hand that feeds. Yeah. So we've stopped for lunch. Unnecessary lunch because we're still full from breakfast, but we've stopped for lunch anyway. This is the old station and the old platform. That's a gradient sign apparently. Tells us that we're going uphill to go back, but as far as I'm concerned that tells me we're going down, so it's really confusing. There we go.
Up track and down track.
Up track and down track according to Paul. So this is what was Tissington station, and I'll show you the information board because it was a big station. This is Buxton to Ashbourne Railway, opened in 1899, I think I'm going to say. Closed by, of course, Dr. Beechin in 63. Let me see if I've taken any of this in from earlier. Yeah, opened in 1899, closed in 63, and it's now part of the Tissington Trail, which is a really nice trail going all the way from Buxton to Ashbourne. It meets the High Peak Trail, so we are currently here at Tissington and we're on our way back to Hartingdon. Actually, we're going to go to Parsley Hay and go to the cafe. Tomorrow we're going to do this and go to High Peak Junction and back. So yeah, that's Tissington station, and that's the old platform. Paul's moaning about being forced to eat lunch because he's still full from breakfast, but he'll survive. Better to have more food than not enough. So nice cup of tea here, so if you're up this way, come and buy a cup of tea from the cafe, and we're going to cycle back shortly. One of the things you'll realise if you keep watching my videos is that I am a massive football fan. And I've decided that I am not buying any more cycling gear because I've got a house full of football stuff, and I'm going to start wearing it for cycling because it's very expensive technical stuff that I wear for home games and then never wear again. So you're going to see an array in these videos. So today is the 2019-2020 away shirt West Brom. So I'm a season ticket holder at West Brom. Got lots of different football shirts, but mostly West Brom shirts. So that's what I'm channeling today. Any of my friends that are watching that are West Brom fans will know that it's probably I would call it the Pereira shirt, because I think it's from the season that we got promoted, but I'm going to stand corrected if there are Albion fans watching. So watch this space for lots of football gear. Still going uphill. It's hard work. Those people in front, along with everybody else except us on this trail, got e-bikes and they're flying back up this. It's not steep, it's very long. We've been climbing like this for nearly 10 miles. We've got another 4 to go, and it's draining. It's all swallowing flies as we go. It's also a little bit monotonous. But there we go, there's a cafe at the end of it, so they'd better have ice cream. So, on the Tissington Trail, and this is Paul. Paul is you can't see him, there you go. Paul is my long-term cycling buddy. So, in 2017 we did end-to-end together. Not on mountain bikes, I might add, but we did. 2019 we did coast to coast together. And we do lots of cycling around Brum and around the Midlands together. And now here we are, doing the Tissington Trail. Paul, say hello.
Hello there.
Hello there. He's already a film star, so he's got no objections to being in this today. Tissington Trail is okay. It's quite nice. There's lots of cafes. If you do come up here, you won't need food and you'll never starve, because every 6 or 7 miles there's a cafe, which is where we're headed now to the next one. The next one is 10 miles away. So, more cake, more food, more cycling.
Onward, forward.
Absolutely. See you in a bit. Quite a big place by the looks of it. It's clearly a very popular place. This whole trail.
Yeah, I've been here before.
Well, as long as they do a decent cup of coffee. Yeah. I wonder if it's an old station. Hi. It's a much better view now, isn't it? Now we've added Paul to the equation.
Yeah, just bit of perspective.
Bit of perspective to Paul that's just been called a Chippendale by the woman in the cafe.
And she wasn't joking.
And she wasn't joking. She wasn't joking at all. This is Parsley Hay, which is the station at the junction of the High Peak Trail and the Tissington Trail. So tomorrow we're going to come up here and take the High Peak Trail. So very nice cafe. All of these old stations have been turned into cafes, which is fab. They've all got loos. They're all very clean. They're all very well looked after. And here we've got some information that really what they wanted to build was a canal, and they couldn't because of the high ground, so they built a railway through it instead. There we go, a rural junction. The railway was the answer. It goes across the Peak District, linking the Cromford Canal, which is where we're going tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going down the High Peak Trail from here. And we're going to follow this all the way down, all the way to the Cromford Canal. And then we're going to turn around and go back again. So that's tomorrow's. We're going to come up here for coffee in the morning and follow that all the way down. Honestly, this route is lovely, and it's full of these little cafes, information boards. The only thing is I've never eaten so much food on a day's ride, because every time you stop you have something else to eat. But at least we're not hungry. Anyway, so 2 miles back to the youth hostel now. Guess what? For more food. So, day one done. As you can see behind me, here, we're back at the hostel. It's a really, really lovely place. It's a lovely hostel. Sun's out. It's about 5 o'clock. We just got back probably about 45 minutes ago. We just sat and had a cup of tea. We've had a really good day. We've done 30 miles. We went down to Ashbourne on the Tissington Trail, and then we turned around and came back on the same trail back to past here, about 3 miles further up to a cafe where we sat and had a coffee. We met a really nice guy that works in the bike shop there. He was very, very knowledgeable. He's given us some really good advice about cycling tomorrow, where to go, where not to go. So it's been a really, really nice day. The trail is nice. It's quite a drag coming back up the hill from Ashbourne back to here. But it was still nice. It was still nice. I mean, 12-mile drag uphill. Very, very shallow. I mean, 2% max. But still, when you're doing 12 mile of that, it is a bit of a drag. So we're going to chill out here for a bit now. We're going to cook some food, and then we're hopefully going to try and watch Man City Real Madrid, if we can hopefully get that on the iPad. If the Wi-Fi is good enough, then that's what we're going to do. As you can see, I'm now channeling same Albion shirt, but a different training top. I think the training top is 21, 22. Again, Albion fans will correct me if that's wrong, but this is what you're going to see. You're going to see lots and lots of football gear over the next few months while I'm doing this London to Brighton, especially as the summer's coming. I've got a drawer full of very expensive football shirts that never get worn, so I've decided that the theme for this London to Brighton is going to be football shirts. My dad was a massive football fan. He would have loved that, so there's going to be lots of Albion shirts. There might be the odd other football team shirt thrown in as a bit of a surprise, but mostly it's going to be Albion shirts. I think he would have he'd have appreciated that. So yeah, let's see how tomorrow goes. Hopefully the forecast is good. The forecast is for the sun to be out like it is now, so it looks like we're in for another good day. So I'll catch you tomorrow.